Hi, welcome to my math classroom. My name's Carly Stockert, and I'm going to be your student's kindergarten teacher. I'm looking forward to meeting you and your child this year. I'd like for you two to watch this video to get a better understanding of what my math classroom is going to look like. So, math can be complicated. Math can be tough. Math can be fun. And math can be something that people avoid. I understand that many of my students in the classroom normally do not feel that math is their favorite subject, but my goal here is to allow for students to feel engaged and willing to work towards being successful in math. Together, we're going to be able to give these children the opportunity needed to strive for being the best math student that they can be. For an online math program, I'm going to be using Khan Academy. This is an online math program that allows for students to work at their own pace and comfort levels. We are all able to keep track on how your student is doing, and if they're doing well or what they might be struggling on within the program. This program works at the student's individual pace, and this allows for them to be successful at their own work. The Common Core State Standards are a list of requirements that are made to allow for each student to be at a passing level all around the United States. All states, other than 6, have accepted these standards as their own. They're split up into two main sections. The first is standards of mathematical practice, and these standards are focused across all different grade levels and it is a general overview of how students need to be successful. The second section is standards for mathematical content. These are split up by grade level. In each grade level, there are requirements that are specific for that grade. These are here so that students can be successful in their studies and stay on track to know and understand the material to be able to move up to the next grade. In kindergarten, instructional time should focus on two major areas. The first is representing and comparing whole numbers and objects, and the second is to be able to describe shapes in space. To break these down a little bit is to say that in kindergarten, students should be able to compare numbers, understand addition as putting numbers together, and understand subtraction as taking apart and taking away from. They are able to work with numbers 11 through 19, to understand place value, and to be able to classify objects and count the number of objects in each category. These are a few of the objectives that I'm going to have to focus on in the classroom for each student. The way that I'm going to engage my students in the classroom with problem-solving activities is that I'm going to engage them with real-world activities. I'm going to relate what they know in their everyday life to math problems that they could understand and feel that they could use once they leave my classroom. I'm going to be using base 10 block manipulatives, and I have shown you a picture of the general concept of these blocks. We are going to be working with adding ones, tens, and grouping different categories of numbers to tell whether if one is larger or smaller than the other. Math talk is something that every teacher implements in the classroom, and I'm going to do this to develop a deeper understanding of the math ideas and concepts that I want my students to understand. A lot of teachers in math will end the conversation of how to solve a problem after the answer is said. It is crucial as a teacher to be able to have the students elaborate on their work with a few key strategies. I'm going to work with your student on repeating an answer that a student gave and having them explain the answer the same way that the first student responded. I'm going to have the class agree or disagree with the response and add on to the original answer. All of these are going to allow for a deeper understanding and full engagement from the students. For motivation in my classroom, I'm going to have a daily challenge, which is going to consist of a math problem that we're working on in the classroom. The daily problem will be a complex version of similar problems that they're working on so that the students can stretch their mind to think of different ways to solve the problem. I'm going to keep track of the students who get the correct score. At the end of every 2 weeks, the top 3 will get a treat from the challenge jar. This will be one way to allow for students to get their homework done so that they can have a good understanding of what they need to know. I'm also lucky enough to have iPads in the classroom, and when students are working hard, I'm going to allow for them to do some math games. Some applications that we're going to be using are called Math Slide, which is a multiplayer game where students are able to put the answer to the question in the middle of the screen the quickest. Quick Math, which is a single-player application that allows for students to write on the screen the answer to the given problem. Students are able to work at their own pace. And Exploding Math, which is a game that allows for students to try and string together a math problem to get as many points as they can. These are all applications that can be used before, during, and after instruction. The first question that I have is, what technology will you be teaching? Again, I'm lucky enough to have a one-to-one teaching program that allows the class to have iPads. I'm going to be using the iPad with motivation to want to practice math problems. There are many applications that are available for students to work on in the classroom, and they'll be able to bring them home also to work on math. By being able to use this iPad, this allows for differentiated instruction for each student. This means that each student can work at their own pace and work on problems that are directly associated with their ability level. My second question is, who created the Common Core state standards anyways? Well, there's a misconception that the federal government created the standards, and this is not true. There was a group of different people who worked together to create these standards. These people included teachers who served on work groups, curriculum specialists, and representatives from the National Council for Teacher Mathematics and National Council for Teachers of English. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email or give me a call. Thank you for your time. I'm excited to be able to see you in the classroom come this August. Have a good rest of your summer. See you soon.